Hello, my friends, and welcome. Thank you for taking time to join me today. I am Morjax, and this is a little build that I like to do. This is kind of your first Horde Knight build, and this is also what I use as a fight platform away from my main base to deal with Horde Knights. And the nice thing about this design is that it is infinitely scalable. You can make it as much as space that you have. You can just keep making this bigger and more defensible. You can see I've got... I think I thought I saw a zombie over there. You can see I've got a little ramp here that you can run up and jump across, and there's a 2 gap. I messed up. The ramp should actually be one farther away, and that little indent should not be on the fight platform, but I'll fix it when I make a ramp on the other side. So basically, let's go to the... I'm going to go to the map really quick and show you what we're working with. You can see I've made sort of a pinwheel shape with these wood stick spikes. And so I've made this out of cobblestone, but you can make this out of wood. If you have iron to reinforce, you should reinforce these bottom 3 of each of the feet of this fight platform, because that's where the zombies are going to be attacking, and you don't want it to collapse. I've also put log spikes underneath. The zombies actually don't pool up that much under here, but starting off, that is too expensive, so you can actually put stick spikes in there. I prefer to do this with stick spikes because they, it's a little bit more repairing that you need to do, but they do about 5 times the damage. So the enemies will spot you, and they'll run up the ramp here, and the enemies will fall down. But what you can do, being a human, is jump across, and you've got a really nice angle here to shoot them as they come up the ramp. And then they'll fall down and walk through all these spikes here, continue taking damage and whatnot. And so yeah, I've got a few more preparations. I actually have in-game the first Horde Knight coming up tonight. So I've got a few more preparations. I'm going to make another tier of spikes around the outside. And I'll jump forward to that. I made a poor choice of placement in this fight platform in 2 regards. One is that I put it in a desert biome. So I might be getting a little bit warm, and also the sand is very easy to destroy. And number 2, I decided to build it right next to a city, which is a bad idea because more zombies tend to spawn in the city. So all you really need is a big open flat area to make this in. So I'm going to continue making some preparations. I should say, hey there. Hold on. It does not help against bees. It helps mildly against cops. So you need to be a little bit aware of that. I'm going to... What are you doing, bee? What are you doing, bee? I'm going to take care of this bee. There we go. And I should say before I jump ahead that the spikes that I have down now, it's about 150 wood stick spikes. And so that's going to cost you about 600 wood, which is really not that hard to get a hold of fairly early on. So I'm going to skip ahead here, make some preparations, and we will actually be fighting the Horde Knight on this fight platform and see how we fare. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, my friends, I am back, and I've souped up my exterior. I've made another round of wood spikes, and I've kind of opened up the I've opened up in the other direction. So like this one has, you know, this tier here goes all the way out, and then there's a gap here, and then the gap is going in the other direction that way, if that makes sense. And that minimizes your open corners. If you have the entrances, like for example, right in the middle and going all the way out, it's like a highway for zombies to come through and not hit any of those spikes. Ooh, someone's onto us. Hunted. Really? Alright. There we go. So, all told, this took, including some mistakenly placed spikes, which I destroyed and picked up again, this took about 420 wood spikes, and so it takes 4 wood to make a wood spikes if I make a wood spike if I'm remembering correctly. And so it's gonna, all these spikes are gonna cost you in the neighborhood of 1600 wood, so about a stack and a half. That takes a little while to collect, but it's a few of these, like these big trees will get you that much. These trees drop quite a bit. And so it should be perfectly reasonable to get that much wood in your pocket by the time you hit your 7-day horde. And then, of course, whatever wood it takes you to build the platform itself. And I'll be making a different video sometime about the actual build process of this this ramp and this fight platform. I like to put a ramp on the other side, and so when I'm ready for that, I'll just kind of rip these spikes out. Alright, my friends, so we're closing in very quick on evening on the Horde night. I had a wandering Horde that came through in the daytime and kept me fairly busy making repairs and things. I decided to leave one gap open here so that I can carefully get in and out should something go horribly, terribly wrong. I can still get up. They tend to wander around the side of this ramp and then come up the middle, so if you're very careful, you can get up through that. And I've also, just kind of on a whim, I plopped some torches down. So we'll have a little bit more light. You can also see I put torches down on each of the corners here. So yeah, without further ado, I'll cut forward to when the festivities start. All right, my friends, so it is morning, and I did have a teeny tiny little group come through. Not very big at all, and I forgot to hit the record button in the heat of the moment. So I'll do my wrap up here. Essentially, you'll find that, and I'll do another episode on how to summon your own packs when you want to fight, actually. When you're looking for gear or whatever the case may be, looking to increase your skill with rifles or bows or things like that. I will make another episode on summoning hordes, in which you can see this build more in action here. But essentially, it's very easy to defend, and the better weapons you have, the more active part you can play. One thing I do want to mention is I like to put these spikes in flights of 3s because I find it easier to repair from one side or the other. And I like to put a gap of 3 spaces in between each flight. And the reason that I put 3 is just because it's easy for me to navigate. So if you feel comfortable moving through a space of 2, you can feel free to compress each of these rows in a little bit closer, and then you have more spike area and less empty space. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide for 7 Days to Die. And like I said, I will be doing more with an advanced version of this once you get set up. Some other things you can do to make this type of setup even better for you and even more defensible, even more usable. And I will also be making a video on how to summon packs when you're looking for a fight. So, that is all for now. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. To get email notifications for all my episodes, hit subscribe, then the gear button, tick the checkbox, and hit save.